Hi there, I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim, and we are
A
A Teague of Your Own.
Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated.
Woohoo! Yay! We're from an undisclosed location.
Somewhere in a nondescript building, in the basement of a nondescript
We're
building.
not in the basement.
No, we're on the second floor
Yes.
of a nondescript building.
We're not Mark Levin.
No.
No, we're not in some bunker out in, is he in New Jersey?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it New Jersey or Virginia? Somewhere. I don't know.
No, but no.
I'm not going looking for him. So
I'm not either.
You'll be happy to know that, I'm sure.
That was at the top of his list.
Oh, man. Are they going to come after me?
No. Okay. We had a great weekend. Went to a baseball game yesterday.
Yeah.
Humidity is not my friend.
Mine neither. It's
just I know it.
Man, my hair, it's all over the place.
It's just, but it's summertime. This is what happens in the summertime: is it gets humid and the hair goes wild, and yeah, I get it. We've been talking about this book, Yay, by Jeff Henderson. Awesome book. If you haven't picked it up yet, I don't know what you're waiting on.
Get a copy. You'll like it.
Get a copy. All right. So we've already talked about, being for the customer, being for the team. Today we're going to talk about being for the community. Sound good?
Yeah.
So what do you think being for the community sounds like? What does that look like?
It means doing things to benefit the community.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that you support the community that you're in because you need that community.
Yeah.
I mean, for a lot of companies, unless you're, a big multinational, in that case, you don't necessarily need your local community as much. I mean, you still need your local community. You still need them to support what you're doing.
Well, you need them for employees.
And you need them for employees. Yeah. So, but for smaller companies, you need to be a part of the community. You can't operate in a community and not be a part of it.
One of the things that you and I were talking about this weekend, Paul Martinelli, good friend of ours, mentor of ours, what he tells you to do is literally put the stick of a protractor.
Yeah,
I guess it's a compass.
No, it's protractor.
Protractor. Put the stick of the protractor where your company is located or your home is located, whatever, and then draw a 5 or even a 10-mile radius around that. You've got millions of dollars worth of business right there.
Yeah. And that's your community.
And that's your community.
Yeah.
That's the reality is that's your community. So Jeff starts off this particular chapter with a quote from Truett Cathy. Makes sense.
Yeah.
We should be more about the just selling chicken. We should be a part of our customers' lives and the communities in which we serve. So one of the things he talks about in this part of the book is a pathway to brand loyalty. And he talks about, to build brand loyalty, you basically have to be for your community because they're going to be the first people who are for you. One of the questions that he asks in this section is, if your business were to go away, would anybody know about it? Because if you're for the community, they'll know.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because we have seen businesses, especially, you had COVID and, the reaction to it, and it shut down a lot of small businesses. And it amazes me when sometimes we're driving around and we'll notice, oh, wow, they're out of business. Yeah. But it didn't impact our lives because they were never a big part of the community. We may or may not have actually, sampled their products, right, whatever services, whatever they may be. And they're gone, and it's you don't even notice. They're beyond not a blip.
Right.
They're just okay. And then there's others. There's others, like a couple of restaurants that have closed.
Yeah.
Fairly, I'm not going to say, like within the last few weeks, but within the last, year and a half, something like that, in our town where we live. And you notice.
It's a big difference.
Yeah, you
And
notice.
that had a big impact because one of them is where Rotary used to meet every week. One of them, that's where people would be open for lunch, and that's where all the businesses would go and have lunch.
Yeah.
And
they're gone.
It's huge.
They're gone, and they were a part of the community. People talked about them. They were involved in things, and so with those companies, they were obviously for the community because we noticed when they were gone. And that's a big difference. That's the question. Would anybody notice when you're gone?
Yeah. So to build brand loyalty, there are 4 mileposts that Jeff talks about in the book about the pathway to brand loyalty. The first one is belonging leads to buying.
Yeah.
Okay. The second one is purpose in the purchase. We're going to talk about that a little bit more here in just a second. The third one is influence beyond the business. And the fourth one is impact from the business. So I want to talk a little bit more about that purpose one.
Okay.
All right.
Go
The second one, purpose in the purchase. If there isn't a purpose bigger than the business won't get any bigger. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's right.
And why do you think that that's the case?
Well, because if you don't have a purpose that's bigger, then you obviously don't have a vision that's bigger. And that's part of the reason why that'll be the case.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think it is because the purpose of your country, that's the purpose of your company is basically your mission statement.
Right.
It's why you're in business. It's why you're doing what you do. And if your purpose isn't bigger than what your business is, it's not going to continue to grow and continue to strive to do better, to serve more people, to produce more, not just goods and services, but a wider variety of them.
Right. And that ties in with the vision.
Yes.
You need to have the vision to grow to hopefully to a point where you're bigger than that mission, where the what it is you're trying to accomplish is bigger than that mission. In that case, it's time to change the mission, update it, upgrade it, and have that reflect that idea that you're striving for more, and it not gaining more personally, but doing more for others. And that's that's an important point. That's where a lot of companies get lost.
Yeah.
Is they think, okay, well, you need to have this certain client base, and hey, there we are. No, you should always be striving to do more. Well, and the more you do for others, the more you do for your community, the more it's going to come back to you.
Well, and part of it is diversifying your customer base, because you want a more diverse customer base, but also, in a sense, diversifying the products and services that you're offering. I'm not saying that if you are a store that sells shoes, you now need to sell refrigerators. That's not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is if you're a store that sells shoes, maybe you sell shoes and socks because they go together. Maybe you sell not only sneakers, but you also sell dress shoes. So you can diversify within the bounds of what your company is like. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay.
That's what we do.
Well, and when you were teaching the capstone class there at UPJ, one of the things you had them do was the business simulation.
Right.
And they sold shoes. And they could sell different types of shoes.
Yes.
And a lot of them wouldn't do that.
No. Well, yeah, they would sell a limited, because they didn't have to specify what the shoes were. It was just a matter of selecting how many different styles of shoes they were going to have. And you're correct. Some of them would want to, they would go for the narrow niche strategy, and they would never expand beyond that, even though understanding that even if you're providing for a niche, at some point you're going to have to expand your offerings within that niche. Otherwise, once customers have your product, if it's not a product that you can sell over and over and over again, they don't need it. They've got it. And so you have to do that. And it's also aiming for, growing your niche like you said, serving a more diverse customer base. I know, by golly, we have.
Yeah.
We got the pictures to prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the groups we have been and companies we've been serving lately. It is to me, it's amazing when you look at the pictures of the different groups, and it's
Well, what's
wow.
interesting, and I
We're
posted
really
this.
running the gamut at this
I
point.
know
It's amazing.
I know we've got it on Facebook. I think we've got it on LinkedIn. We did the leadership game.
Mhm.
We did the leadership game with a group of seniors
Mhm.
who are entering the workforce again, and then we also did the leadership game with a group of teenagers
Yep.
who are still in high school, and so very diverse group. Same game, different outcomes for them as far as what they got out of it, but they still grew
Right.
from the
And
experience.
the point is, they all grow and develop from the
It
experience.
is very interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, and being able to take this one tool and apply it to different groups and still come out with a positive outcome every time.
Yeah.
It's absolutely it's amazing. It's mind-blowing.
Well, and the other thing is, with both of them, the communities that they're a part of are very different.
Yes.
And what it does is it helps to grow those communities.
Right. But then in the process of us doing this, we are part of the community.
Yes, we are.
We're developing a community.
And when it comes to being for the community, we're not just talking about a physical face-to-face community. We're talking about digital communities too.
Yes, yeah, it's true. So you're not necessarily talking about where you live. You're talking about everybody that you are basically in contact with.
Exactly. I can, off the top of my head, I can think of 2 people who have virtual digital communities. Tracy Root has the Gather community. She's been on here before. Katarina Rando, she has her Thriving Women in Business community. So I know there are businesses out there that have virtual or digital communities. The principles in here serve that too. It doesn't have to just be the physical local community that you live in. We're talking about digital and virtual communities out there. The same concepts apply. You still need to grow that. You need to nurture that community, because if you don't, that's who your customer base is. And the reality is, your customers want to feel like they're part of a community.
Yeah.
Your customers want to feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. And what are some things that organizations can do to build that sense of community?
Well, it's supporting the other organizations in your community.
Okay.
It's being out there doing charitable work.
Okay.
Doing some of the stuff that we do. Some of this training stuff we do it complimentary.
That's true.
Sometimes we get paid for it. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes what we're getting paid is well below what we would normally charge for it. But we're happy to do it because we know that it's going to be a benefit. There's going to be a benefit to the community, to these people. We love seeing people grow. And we like it because it's kind of fun when you start talking to people and they go, "Oh, are you the people who do
the leadership
XYZ?"
game?
Who hear the leadership game quite often.
Yes.
And we say, yes, we are. And they've heard of it. They've heard about it. And they've heard good things. And so they know. And, sometimes that may lead to opportunities to go into other organizations and do something like that. Again, on a complimentary basis, but we know by doing that and being for the community, being part of the community, it's going to come back to us, because inevitably when we're doing this, there's somebody or somebodies sitting in that room who say, you know what, we should do this at my organization or this other, my company or whatever. But that all grows from being for the community and supporting the community.
So if you're interested in bringing the leadership game to your organization, if you have a chamber, if you have a church group, If you have some type of other community group, I know I've done the leadership game for a lot of different women's groups. If you're a Rotary, because we're Rotarians, we'd love to get together with you. If you're part of the Lions Club or the Kiwanis Club, whatever, if you'd like us to come in and do a leadership game for you, we need about an hour and a half or so.
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
But we'll be more than happy to do that for you. And the reason why is because we want to help you. We want to help grow our communities. The stronger our communities are, the stronger the people are there within the communities. So we're more than happy to do that for you.
Yeah, the other awesome thing about the leadership game is you'll have fun.
That's so
it is
much
indeed
fun.
a game.
It is.
And it's a lot of fun.
It's so
and
much fun.
People, it's amazing. They are so much more receptive to learning and growth when they're having a good time.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that sets us apart with
Yeah.
nearly everything that we do. You're going to have a good time. We like having fun.
Yeah.
And there's no reason that you can't grow and have fun at the same time. As a matter of fact, I think two go hand in hand.
They do.
And, so I think that's one of the things that sets us apart from some of these other folks that are out there doing something similar. They can't do the things we're doing. We are unique in what we do, but they're not fun.
Yeah.
They're not fun. We're fun.
Life's too short not to have fun.
Life is way too short not to have fun.
Yeah. All right. So if somebody wanted to reach out to us and bring us in to do something fun for their group, how could they do that?
Just find out how we can help you, what, maybe walk you through what some issues that you may be having, give you some suggestions on what you just make contact with us. See how we can help you.
How can they do that?
They can reach us in a multitude of ways. They can send us an email.
An email?
Yes, info at a Teague of your own, but make it all one word, a Teague of your own, not their own, your own.com, right?
Info at a Teague of your own.com, correct?
Yes. Okay, great. You can go to our website, a Teague of your own.com.
Yes.
And actually, I think we got a freebie on there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All about influence.
Yeah. Freebie about influence. Oh, you want to get that.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, that's a nice freebie download.
Yeah.
They can also reach us on Facebook.
Yes.
LinkedIn.
Yes.
Instagram.
Yes.
And we have a YouTube channel.
Subscribe.
Yes, please. Please
Yeah.
go on there and subscribe. We've got a lot of videos. We'll have this video on there shortly. Go in there and check us out.
Yes.
And we're going to be adding some different stuff and some newer type content here in the not too terribly distant future. So we're going to try to make that a regular thing. Maybe content that is exclusive to the YouTube channel. We'll see.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they have to go there if they want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also give us a call.
Yes. 412-420-7975. Again. 412-420-7975. Give us a call. It'll be worth it.
Or text us.
Or text us. You can text us. Yes.
If you're like our daughter, you don't like to talk, you text.
Text.
Yeah.
Text.
We're cool.
Yeah, we'll be happy to text you back.
We could do that. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't by now, like we said, get a hold of Jeff Henderson's book 4. Next week, we're going to talk about the last section, which is being for you. How an organization should actually be for you. That's a different concept.
It
now,
is.
isn't it?
And if you don't have his book, you can buy it at any outlet that sells books.
Yeah.
We highly recommend it. It's a powerful read.
It is.
It's a quick read, though, too. So,
Jeff's a good guy.
and Jeff's a great guy.
Love
He's
him.
fantastic.
All right. We should be back in the normal location next week.
You don't sound happy about that.
Well, off-site locations can be fun.
That's true.
All right. So until then, we will see you then. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.